The riots started 4 hours ago. You grabbed your tactical AR with the $700 optic and the custom trigger. First magazine, no problem. Second magazine, the bolt won't lock back. Carbon buildup. You're in the middle of a street, and your high-precision rifle just quit on you because you didn't maintain it to milspec standards. Across the street, your neighbor is still defending his property. He's 70 years old. He's holding a pump-action shotgun he bought in 1983 for $200. It's been sitting in his closet for 40 years. He hasn't cleaned it once. Doesn't matter. Pump shotguns don't care. They work, and you're realizing that everything the gun industry sold you was designed to fail exactly when you need it most. There are 7 guns that don't fail, 7 guns that work when nothing else does, and they're all cheap. Not because they're inferior, because they solve the problem permanently. Let's start with the biggest lie the firearms industry has ever told you. Every tactical shooter believes it. The lie is this: precision engineering equals reliability. Tight tolerances equal performance. Modern equals better. Wrong. You've got an AR-15 platform. Maybe you spent $1,200 on the base rifle. You think you're done. You're not. You're just starting to pay. The rifle ships with basic iron sights. But those aren't tactical enough, right? So you buy a red dot optic. That's $500 to $800. They all run on batteries. Shelf life is 3 to 5 years. After that, they die. Your $600 optic becomes a paperweight. But you're not done. Factory trigger is gritty, so you upgrade. That's $200 to $300. You need a free float rail for accuracy. Another $250 to $400. Adjustable stock. Upgraded grip. Another $250. You're now at $3,000 to $5,000 total. Here's what the industry doesn't advertise. That rifle was built to tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch, 0.001 to 0.003 inch clearances between moving parts. That's precision. It's also fragility. Dust gets in there. Mud. Carbon fouling. The gas system on an AR is direct impingement. Every time you fire, superheated gas blows back through a tube directly into the bolt carrier group. Carbon builds up fast. After 500 rounds of sustained fire, that bolt starts to drag. After 1,000 rounds without cleaning, you're getting failures. The rifle chokes on its own exhaust, and those proprietary parts. Your bolt carrier group is machined to specific tolerances for your barrel extension. You can't swap in any bolt. Your gas tube length is specific to your barrel length. Carbine, mid-length, rifle. Wrong tube, the rifle won't cycle. If the manufacturer goes under, if the supply chain breaks, you're holding a $4,000 paperweight. Every 5,000 rounds, you need a new bolt. Every 10,000 rounds, new gas tube. You need specific cleaning solvents, specific tools, armorer-level knowledge to maintain it properly. If you can't get parts, the rifle stops working. You think you bought a survival rifle? You didn't. You bought a subscription to the firearms industry. The moment you can't renew that subscription, you're unarmed. But there's a gun designed in 1947 that doesn't need any of this. It costs $700. And the firearms industry has spent 75 years convincing you it's inferior when it's actually immortal. That gun is the AK-47, and the firearms industry has spent 75 years convincing you it's inferior. Mikhail Kalashnikov designed this rifle in 1947 with one goal: make it work when everything else fails. His solution was counterintuitive. He made it loose. The tolerances on an AK are 0.5 millimeters or more between moving parts. That's massive compared to an AR. You can see light between the bolt carrier and the receiver. You can hear it rattle when you shake it. And that's exactly why it never jams. Dust gets in there. Doesn't matter. The clearances are so large the dust just falls through. Mud. The bolt still has room to move. Carbon buildup from firing. The rifle doesn't even notice. There's no precision surface for fouling to lock up. The receiver is stamped steel, not milled aluminum. You can bend it and it still functions. The gas system is a long-stroke piston. Gas pushes a piston. The piston pushes the bolt carrier. No gas enters the receiver. No carbon touches the bolt. The system self-cleans through mechanical violence. You can bury an AK in mud for 6 hours. Pull it out and fire it. You can freeze it solid in a block of ice. Thaw it out and it cycles. Drop it from a helicopter onto concrete. The receiver will bend. It'll still fire. Submerge it in salt water for 3 days. Rinse it and it's operational. There are AK-47s from the 1950s still in combat use in Africa and the Middle East. 60-year-old rifles that have been through multiple wars. Over 100 million AKs have been manufactured globally. Parts are everywhere. The ammunition is 7.62 by 39 mm Soviet, available in massive global stockpiles. You can buy it for 30 to 40 cents per round. It's adequate for any engagement from 0 to 300 yards. That covers 95% of defensive scenarios. Now, the downsides. The trigger pull is heavy. 7 to 8 pounds. Mushy. The accuracy is 4 to 6 MOA. That's combat adequate, not precision. The iron sights are crude but fast. None of that matters when the grid is down. You can buy an AK for $700. Add $300 for 1,000 rounds. That's $1,000 total. No optics required, no accessories needed, no upgrades possible. Buy once, own forever. The AK proved something the industry doesn't want you to know. Cheap doesn't mean inferior. It means independent. And there are 6 more guns built on the same philosophy. The AK dominates 0 to 300 yards. But what if you need more range? What if the threat is 400 yards out and you can't close distance? You need another rifle. The industry wants to sell you a $2,000 Precision AR-10 with a $1,500 scope. But there are 2 guns that do the job for a fraction of the cost, both older than your grandfather. Gun number 2. The SKS. Simonov Carbine. Designed in 1945 by Sergei Simonov. It fires the same 7.62 by 39 mm as the AK. That means 1 ammunition type for 2 rifles. Logistics just got simpler. The SKS uses a fixed 10-round internal magazine loaded with stripper clips. No detachable magazines means no feed failures from damaged mags. You can't lose magazines because there are none to lose. The gas system is short-stroke piston, even simpler than the AK's long stroke. The barrel is 20.5 inches versus the AK's 16. Longer barrel means better accuracy. Effective accurate fire out to 400 yards. That's 100 yards more than the AK. Chrome-lined barrel, corrosion-resistant, good for 50,000 rounds, weighs 8.5 pounds. Integral folding bayonet for backup. Price, $400 to $550. Total parts, 38. An AR has 65 plus. Fewer parts, fewer failures. Gun number 3, Mosin Nagant M91/30. Designed in 1891, this rifle is 133 years old and still in use today. Bolt action, 5 moving parts total, nothing to jam, no gas system to foul. You manually cycle the action. This is mechanical immortality. The cartridge is 7.62 by 54R. Full power rifle round. Effective range, 500 to 800 yards with iron sights. Post-Soviet stockpiles flooded the market. The ammunition is cheap and everywhere. Price, $200 to $350. Cheapest real rifle on this list. Weighs 8.8 pounds. Recoil is punishing. But it works. This rifle functioned in -40-degree Russian winters for decades. You can bury it for 50 years. Dig it up, clean it, fire it. The Finns used captured Mosin Nagants as sniper rifles during the Winter War. Kills past 800 meters were routine. 3 rifles, 3 range brackets. AK for 0 to 300 yards. SKS for 300 to 400. Mosin for 400 to 800. Total cost, $1,400. But rifles can't do everything. In close quarters, inside vehicles, clearing buildings, you need something else. Urban combat, vehicle defense, home clearing. Rifles are liabilities in these scenarios. They're too long. They snag on door frames. Inside a car, you can't maneuver. You need something short, fast, and devastating at close range. Gun number 4, the pump-action 12-gauge shotgun. Remington 870, Mossberg 500, Maverick 88. All basically the same gun with minor differences. All simple. All reliable. Why a shotgun belongs in your arsenal. Close quarter stopping power without overpenetration. A rifle round punches through interior walls and kills whoever's in the next room. Buckshot doesn't. It stops the threat and dumps its energy in the target. That matters when you're defending a structure with friendlies inside. Versatility. One platform fires multiple ammunition types. Birdshot for small game hunting. Buckshot for defensive scenarios. Slugs for accurate single projectile fire out to 100 yards. Breaching rounds for destroying door locks. One gun, 4 different mission profiles. Pump action is the simplest repeating mechanism. No gas system. No moving parts except what you manually operate. You rack the slide, the shell chambers. Physics does the rest. It works with weak shells, damaged shells, even corroded shells. The gun doesn't care. It's mechanical, not automatic. The Remington 870 is the most popular shotgun in history, over 12 million manufactured. Parts are everywhere. Steel receiver, simple bolt lockup, 5 to 6 major components. That's it. Shotguns from the 1950s are still functional today. You're looking at a 70-year service life minimum. Price: $250 to $400 depending on model and condition. Ammunition: 12 gauge is the most common shotgun shell worldwide. Every rural and suburban household in America has a box somewhere. It's available at every gun store, every sporting goods shop, every Walmart. And if supply chains break, you can hand-load shotgun shells with basic reloading equipment. Press, powder, shot, wads. People have been doing it in garages for a century. Buckshot, 00 buck, 9 pellets per shell. Each pellet is .33 caliber, devastating from 0 to 25 yards. Forgiving aim because of spread pattern. The racking sound is universal. Everyone knows what it means. 4 guns. Complete long gun capability. Shotgun for 0 to 50 yards. AK for 50 to 300. SKS for 300 to 400. Mosin for 400 to 800. Total cost so far is about $1,900. But all 4 of these guns are bulky. You can't conceal them. You can't carry them while you're working, shopping, moving through populated areas, and in a collapse, the gun you have with you beats the rifle locked in your safe. That's where the final 3 guns come in. In a collapse, the gun you have with you beats the rifle locked in your safe. You need something you can carry every day, concealed, ready. Using ammunition you can actually find. Gun number 5. Glock 19. 9mm Luger. Most common handgun caliber in America. Police use it. Military uses it. Civilians stockpile it. In a grid-down scenario, 9mm is everywhere. Polymer frame, striker fired, no external safety. The mechanism is simple, 34 parts total. A 1911 has 58. Fewer parts, fewer failures. It'll eat any 9mm you feed it. Steel case, aluminum case, corroded surplus. Magazine capacity is 15+1. You can get 33 round extended mags. Price: $500 to $600. Polymer doesn't rust, doesn't corrode. Minimal maintenance. This gun runs 100,000 rounds before the frame cracks. Gun number 6. 357 Magnum revolver. Ruger GP 100 or Smith & Wesson 686. Mechanical immortality. 6 major moving parts. A semi-auto pistol has 30+. No magazine to lose. No feeding issues. Cylinder rotates, hammer drops, round fires. 357 Magnum also chambers 38 special. Ammunition flexibility. Full power .357 for stopping power. Lower recoil .38 for practice. 1 gun, 2 calibers. Load this gun and leave it for 50 years. Pick it up and fire. First round goes off. No batteries, no magazines. Steel construction throughout. Price: $600 to $750. Gun number 7. Ruger 1022. Chambered in .22 long rifle. Most manufactured ammunition in history. Rounds are tiny. Carry 1,000 in a small backpack. Semi-automatic, blowback operated, simplest self-loading mechanism, perfect for small game hunting, rabbits, squirrels, birds, protein when food chains break, perfect for training. Low recoil, anyone can shoot accurately. Price, $250 to $350. Over 7 million manufactured, parts everywhere, 7 guns, 7 capabilities. Shotgun for close quarters, AK for general defense, SKS for medium range, Mosin for long range, Glock for everyday carry, revolver for backup, 10/22 for food. Total cost, $3,200 for all 7. Compare that to one high-end tactical AR with optics and accessories. That's $4,000 plus for one rifle. You now have complete capability. But you've never seen this list recommended by gun YouTubers, industry magazines, or dealer salespeople. That's not an accident. Here's what the gun industry doesn't want you to understand. Their business model isn't built on selling you guns. It's built on selling you upgrades, accessories, and replacements. The modern AR platform has a $2,000 plus aftermarket ecosystem. Red dot optics, magnified scopes, laser aiming modules, weapon lights, upgraded triggers, free float rails, adjustable stocks, aftermarket grips, sling mounts, bipods. Every AR owner spends more on accessories than they did on the base rifle. These 7 guns have almost zero aftermarket potential. The AK takes standard wood or polymer furniture. No proprietary rail systems. The shotgun has no meaningful upgrades. You can't improve a pump action. Revolvers can't be modified. The Glock works perfectly stock. The 10/22 is too cheap to matter. SKS and Mosin are what they are. No accessories means no recurring revenue. And there's planned obsolescence. Modern striker-fired pistols are designed for a 50,000-round lifespan. Then the frame cracks, and you buy another gun. AR platforms need bolt replacements every 10,000 to 15,000 rounds. Gas tubes wear out. Barrels lose accuracy. These 7 guns last 100+ years with basic maintenance. You're a one-time customer. Then you're done. You've exited the market permanently. The industry calls the AK crude. They mean indestructible. They call the Mosin outdated. They mean it's been working for 133 years. They call revolvers obsolete. They mean mechanically immortal. They call pump shotguns grandpa guns. They mean your grandpa was smarter than you. All of these guns are still working a century later, while tactical firearms from 2010 are already in landfills. The industry wants you renting capability through constant upgrades. These guns make you own it. And a customer who owns a permanent solution is a customer they lose forever. This is the same pattern everywhere. When technology solves problems permanently, it gets buried. Step back. Look at what we just covered. 7 guns, all cheap, all durable, all deliberately kept out of mainstream recommendations. This is the same pattern across every industry. Electronics are designed to be unrepairable. Proprietary screws, glued components, software locks. Planned 3 to 5 year obsolescence. Appliances used to be metal. Now they're plastic parts designed to fail. Cars are computers on wheels. The mechanical parts last forever. The sensors and electronics fail and cost thousands to replace. Software went from ownership to subscription. You don't buy programs anymore. You rent access. The pattern is consistent. 3 characteristics of buried technology. It's mechanically simple. No supply chains required. It's built from durable materials. Outlasts any planned lifespan. It has no upgrade path. One purchase solves the problem forever. These 7 guns have all 3 traits. This isn't conspiracy. It's profit motive. An economy built on consumption requires customers who keep consuming. A customer who solves their problem permanently is a customer lost. Complexity creates dependency. Simplicity creates independence. The gun industry specifically can't ban these guns. They're legal, they're established, so they suppress them through silence. No television commercials for Mosin na Gantz, no sponsored YouTube reviews of SKS rifles, no dealer incentives to stock cheap imports. The sales floor pushes what generates profit. New tactical platforms with accessory potential. Not century-old designs that work forever. Walk into any gun store. The employee steers you toward the AR wall. Modular, customizable, upgradable. They don't mention the AK in the back corner. They don't talk about the pump shotgun that's been identical since 1950. Those guns don't generate commission. The average buyer never hears about these 7 guns. They buy what's advertised, what's reviewed, what's pushed. And all of that is controlled by companies that need you buying again in 5 years. So what do you do with this information? You can buy all 7 of these guns right now. None are illegal. None are restricted. They're available while supply chains still function. Here's how to prioritize. Phase 1. Core defense. AK-47 and Glock 19. That's $1,300 for both. Add 1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39 and 1,000 rounds of 9mm. Another $500. Total, $1,800. You now have a rifle and pistol that work in any condition. Phase 2. Versatility. Pump shotgun and Ruger 1022. That's $600 for both. Add 500 rounds of 12 gauge and 22 LR. Another $150. You're at $2,550. You now have close quarters capability and small game hunting. Phase 3. Complete capability. SKS, Mosin Nagant, 357 revolver. That's $1,500. Add 500 rounds each. Another $600. Final total, $4,650. Less than one high-end AR with accessories. You have 7 guns covering every scenario. Don't wait for collapse. Supply chains break fast. Buy guns first. Ammunition second. Store it dry. Share this knowledge. What other guns belong on this list? Every person who exits the tactical gear trap is one less customer feeding planned obsolescence. These guns don't need corporations to function. No subscriptions, no updates, no customer support, no proprietary parts. They work because physics works. Physics doesn't care about quarterly earnings. True independence can't be purchased from companies selling dependency. You're not hoarding. You're building permanent capability. Reliability doesn't require sponsorships. Simplicity doesn't need marketing. And a rifle that lasts a century doesn't need permission to outlive the system that tried to bury it.